Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sorry about that glitch. I was live on the stream. I didn't know I was live. I thought I wasn't. I ended the stream on my own thinking it was, I got no confirmation. Usually I get my team or someone to tell me I'm live. YouTube does this glitch where like for 10 seconds it will say you're not live. But you have to wait for it to kick in. It didn't kick in. I bugged out. I ended up ruining the stream, so I had to come back and do it again. Anyway, let's jump on into BTC. Let's talk about the trades. That's what's masking. That's what's the most important. Put the lemon in the water. I worked out this morning. I hope you did too and got yourself on another level. Oh, some good herbs. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and appreciate you all for being here and hanging out with the lifers. So, last night, let's talk about what I said in the trading group and what was going on. If you were in the group with the lifer, Sam Price, let's kind of talk about what I saw happening. So, I'm sitting there last night and I'm like, man, I could see a bear flag to the downside, which I still possibly see. I said, but man, the 1 minute looks like it's starting to get above the 200 and it looks like it could go on a bit of a tear. All right, and so I said, I'm opening up a Bitcoin long right now, and I had the rev to the engine there, right, room, and put a GIF up there, but I'm opening up a Bitcoin long right now, right, and the entry was somewhere right there at about 103,300 for BTC. I wasn't going to, I was attempting to just get to liquidity. If we get somewhere to 104,200 really was the area, the top of this candle, like it just a nice pump, right, is all I was looking for to the upside. I did see how this could dump if we couldn't get above the 200 moving average, but I said, man, I'm going to take my shots, and then it's interesting. BOOKMAP told me that we were going to dump tons of liquidity. So I could see a bunch of people shorting the market. I said, man, they're going to short, and it's going to give me a possible liquidity. I woke up at 7 in the morning to a giant green candle on the daily, and I was up about 1,400, ended up hitting even more, and then I had another trade going on MEXC for another 1,300. I took both these trades down for about $2,750 after fees. So I made about $3,000, a little under this morning. And then felt pretty good. I was like, hey, that's a great take. If I make $3,000 a day, I go for 500 to a few thousand a day. Honestly, that will make you, it'll do well. So then look, price cracked the 200, my signal, and was gone. Simple way to trade. You need some guts though as well, right? You crack the 200 moving average, boom. And we were playing near the line. What I like about it is if it goes back below, so be it. But if you get above it, there's usually a pretty good pump. So there's a good risk to reward. All right, if you want to trade where I trade, we have links there in the pinned comment. If you want to check it out and find out what we're cooking, all right? And so, boom, this trade ended up, as you can see, it started going up even up to into the $1,700 region as we got into the $105,250 level, right? Look, it started when we passed the 200 MA on the 1 minute, like I tell you, almost every day. I point this out, and I teach my students, if you're struggling in trading, let's get you to use one time frame and one indicator. Let's take everything off your screen and let's just clear just price action and the 200 moving average, and let's get you on a demo account. Let's get you clearing your mind, taking a deep breath, and let's get you on a path to success. You know what I mean? Let's stop this nonsense of watching 1,000 YouTubers, 1,000 videos, and you're spread too thin. We got to hone you in, right? We got to teach you the way, right? And then look, Bitcoin, 1 hour was too far for the 21, so I sold all positions, made 2,700 in my sleep. Let's go. Too far for the 21 and the green candles. We're a straight shot. Let's gotta tell you something. Like, if the trade went so well, you want to tell your family or friends, like, hey, I made $2,700 in my sleep. Don't you want to tell somebody that? That's a car payment for a supercar dang near a month. You know what I mean? So I'm done for the day, my money. Now I work for you for the rest of the day and get you the knowledge to get them, right? This is why long Tuesday nights, I went over this in depth on the live stream. Okay? And look, now you're going to come back to the 21-day moving average. It's likely that you're going to dump to the 21 or go sideways. I desire to see it go sideways and pull the 21. But when you go pretty far, you know what I mean? So anything can happen. Either you're going to go sideways and pull. So this is what I desire to see. 8 hours from now, we went sideways. That would have been bullish. And we still may. And then you get a video update explaining everything and all the ins and outs that I see, right? And then I talked about this. I said, but you know what? It might be worth setting up a trade here, but I said, I'm not at a Bitcoin Lev trade, down for a little bit, made gains in my sleep, right? Took a little scalp here, then finally, because I was like, But you can see it made a shoulder, head, right shoulder. And then I was in the 99 kicking it with everyone, and I said, man, the best thing we should do is short to the 21-day moving average. You know what I mean? And not trade until we get back to the 21. So my system is, and we did exactly what we were supposed to do. We came back to the 21. We're testing the 200 moving average. And you can almost say this is a bit of a head and shoulder pattern now. So we're going to break all the fun things down. We're going to look at all the ins and outs of trading. We'll look shoulder, head, right shoulder. So you can say whatever you want about my system, about my convoluted, fun way in which we look for price action, how I'm always battling the 1 minute on the live stream, how I'll take the 1 hour, whatever we do. But we have fun here on this channel, and we learn as we go, and we don't win every time. But I show you, look, I won, and I showed you exactly how I did it. Did I know we were going to make this perfect move to the upside? I was going to be able to get in and get out? No. I don't always hit it that perfectly, too. Like, usually I get, like, maybe here to here. I mean, I hit the exact move. The only possible gain made was the timing in which I put it in. And I was able to sleep. It's so crazy. That was the 8 hours while I was asleep. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's crazy. Anyway, all glory goes to God for all my wins and anything that happens in my life, good and bad, because God is teaching me every single day, every single time. Remember, you have to sell yourself first. That sounds interesting, right? But you got to sell yourself first. What does that mean? Well, you got to believe in yourself. Like, if you wanted to start a YouTube channel, you've got to be the first subscriber. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you got to be the first subscriber to yourself, right? Who's going to subscribe to you if you're not subscribed to you? It's you know, and again, you know what? No one will believe in your vision. Like my vision for Crypto Lifer and my vision for, you know, when I first started the company. Now I have people that see the vision. So I think it changes when you have people that see the vision. But before, when it was just kind of me riding, nobody sees the vision but you as clear as you do. You know what I mean? Like if, say, some guy wants to start his first pizza shop back in the day when they were first beginning and no one really knew he had a vision, you know. My friend's grandfather, he was the guy that actually put Chef Boyardee, my buddy Andy, his grandpa put Chef Boyardee in a can. He was the first guy to, I'm not lying, you can look it up. But my buddy's grandpa, he put Chef Boyardee in a can. He was the guy that did it. He said, you know what, we could can that spaghetti and meatballs. Right? It's interesting, but he had a vision. Other people couldn't see it. He could see it clearer. So look, there's a possible higher low here. Possible, but it also kind of, I see this head and shoulder pattern beginning. We're going to look at the bigger and the smaller time frames, and look, there's definitely a resistance at 105,000. And that's a low, a high, a higher low, a lower high, and now the battle continues. These usually break to the downside. It's a symmetrical triangle, and I do see how this could be a head and shoulder pattern. So it doesn't look amazing. New York session opened up, never feels good chance to catch the bottom. Yeah, and a bunch of people call that too. You had a London pump. You're likely going to have a New York session dump at open, right? It's just kind of what happens. It's something we see all the time. Shout out to all my lovers of life out there doing their thing. Remember, if you go to BTCC all the way until November 30th, they're giving back, so jump on in with the Lifer link and get 10% on the first two. So check it out. There's so much there. Hit that link to find out more. We also have a pinned comment if you want to check it out. Okay, Lifers, let's do our top-down analysis and show you what's cooking. First, we're going to start with the monthly time frame, and we're going to break down what's happening here on the monthly, and then we're going to kind of zoom on in to something further, okay? So the first thing you want to talk about is this monthly. As long as we can stay above the monthly, I'm bullish, but it doesn't look amazing. We have held these levels. As you can see, it is kind of a channel. And every time we've hit the bottom of the channel, we have come back to the top. Almost thinks like you might do the same thing again and come to a new all-time high there and just keep doing these stepping stones. I mean, you had a bearish div. The monthlies had time, but it could still roll over pretty nicely. What I'm looking at and what concerns me as a trader, but, you know, we could make some good money on if we read it right. So it really doesn't matter. It will just give us more Bitcoin. If this happens, that'll give us more long-term Bitcoin, okay? It will wreck the altcoins, though, beyond belief. So back to zero for anyone that believed they bought the lows again at the last dip. And, you know, I longed ETH at the open dump, 33, already a couple, let's go, Lifer. Wow. You longed ETH at the open dump. You longed it. Interesting. I'm confused. I thought we're going down. Or maybe I don't know. I'll have to see. No, but God bless you, man. Oh, Gear. You longed ETH on the open dump. 33, already a couple hundred in profits. Let's go. So right as we dumped, you banged in. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Shout out to Muck, man. God bless you. And that's my man, Muck, bro. Shout out to my man, Kierme. So times like this, you take the news into consideration. Government shutdown ending soon. Yes and no. The charts are, show me the charts and I'll show you the news. Like, say you're approaching, here's something I'm going to teach you. That's really interesting. Let me finish the top-down analysis, but I got something to add to the stream today. That's awesome. Keep hitting that like button, everybody, and tell people to come back to the right stream. We got people hitting the wrong link now, and they're caught up, and I messed up. So now I got two streams, and they're fighting each other, and the algo doesn't know what to do, and so we made a mistake today. So I need all your help to get the lifers back to the regular scheduled program. I'd appreciate that if we keep it cooking. All right. So the first thing we're concerned about and we're watching is that monthly chart and the fact that we could be making a right shoulder. All right, that's your most bearish scenario, folks. And that has a, I guess you could say, a measured move somewhere down to like 67, 68,000. Right, so it could be a pretty substantial move down. It would take time. It would likely be a pump back up somewhere. It would be a dump, a pump back into the 109, 110 areas, and that would be the right show, So, and that would fake everybody out again. It will be confusing. There is a bearish div. That's the thing I keep looking at. And there's also a large bear. Like, this is also bearish div. You see, like, just in general, it's wow. And then it's pretty bearish. At the same time, I've never seen an asset really have so much pressure, so it is getting into its own little spot. But look, Bitcoin dumping as we speak, viciously back to 103.3. So they pumped it up to 105 today and made a beautiful short. I actually wish I had jumped into that short because my system told me that short was very likely. Now, you don't want to see the 1 hour break the 200 moving average. If that happens, this is technically a right shoulder here. And they're about to take this thing further to the downside, right? And again, I trade like a computer, like a bot. I don't really, people, back to what this gentleman said about, I had a perfect diagram to answer your question. I just didn't want to overextend the update. But that looks bearish to me. A move down to 98,750 could be likely, right? And honestly, they keep chopping this puppy around. They finally got things on the right path today. But I need consolidation. I keep saying that. They faked consolidation here. They faked it here. But we caught that right shoulder. We could see what they were doing, Anyway, so. But let's get back to the top down. But right there, we could be in free fall right there. We are, right? Right now, we're dumping. Did we lose the 1 minute 200? We did, see? Longs begin when you gain the 200. Shorts begin when you lose the 200. The 1 minute is an extremely amazing signal. Look at this. And what you do is you combine your knowledge. Look, that's a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. You see it? You don't have to be a rocket science. You look for bearish patterns. And then to reverse, you look for bullish patterns. Like there's the inverted there. There's a bit of a cup with a hand, above the 200 moving average. If you want, some people wait for the flag, the confirmation. The flag with the 21 touching, low stochastic, check. Flag, check. 21 check above the 200. In an uptrend. Lack of bearish momentum on the MACD. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look at the MACD, the moving average convergence and divergence. That is a lot of bearish momentum. It's big red, right? But look at that, small. That is lack. When there's a very small hill, it's kind of likely you're going to see some movement. So right there, we saw a very small hill. What happened to BTC? Right here, when the hill was very small. See it? As things got very, very small, we bump, and then you can see this. It wasn't a big, deep hill right here, right? If we open it up. So whenever I see Bitcoin, I look for it to flag and for the momentum to start to get pretty small. And if you have low, like below the equator, see when you're below the equator, right here, you look for the MACD to be far away from the middle line. That's usually going to give you a lot of move back to the, wow, Bitcoin absolutely imploding to the downside here. Hold on, I got to jump on into the small time frames. I missed out on a massive short here. I'm a little tight, actually. I ate so fat on my long tonight that I was like, oh, man. But that's why I took profits, too. I took profits when you're away from the 21-day moving average. Dang, I want to finish my top-down analysis, but they're making it hard. They're dumping Bitcoin here. So here, I'm going to switch to BTCUSD on Bybit spot here. Actually, let's go to BTCUSD.P. We'll go to weeks, BTCUSD.P. Or just, I just want to see a perpetual contract on the small time frame. So look, I mean, let's take a look at what happened here. They made a bear flag on the 1 minute. I mean, there's my signal right there. See, if you flip this upside down, that we trade this the same way. So all you got to do is learn my system, understand how the moving averages work, flip the charts upside down, and you're in business. I wish I had taken this live short. It is what it is. Dang. Today was an interesting day. Funny, I made a bad mistake. Now, where everyone's getting back here, 1,200 people on the live. Thank you so much. Let's keep the likes coming. So now you're saying, okay, is this going to continue or are we going to get some type of reversal? Nobody knows for sure, so you build the possibilities. Here's your first probability. Here's your second one, right? So you would long the right shoulder if you're a dangerous man, right? You short the bear flag if you go with the trend. And one of these two things is likely going to happen. It's either going to go this way, or it's just going to continue to dump very fast. All three of those things are on the table. The dump very fast is a little less likely because usually we consolidate a little bit once you stretch out the moving averages. I don't know how it works, but that's just how it is. Wow, a massive dump for Bitcoin, just boom. So I sell the top at 105, area, and I tell everyone that's about it. We do see a head and shoulder on the 15-minute time frame that started the short, which was obvious to me. I even pointed it out to the trading group. Vincenzo, you've seen me, right? Is Vinny out here? Hey, Vinny, are you out here over here? Where is my cousin Vinny over here? My cousin Vinny, man. That's my buddy. But I got an amazing New Yorker, ex-New Yorker. But my buddy, man. My brother from another. So, wow, that looks like it's imploding. Let's take a look at the daily. I got to really zoom in, too, and see what's happening here. And again, as I talk about this, it does look like a bear flag on the daily time frame, does it not? Looks like Bitcoin could implode to the downside yet again. So last night, I was looking for this candle to go all the way back to the upside. It looked like, and then come back down. I was looking for us just to pump to the top of the range and dump. I wasn't like, oh, wow, this is going to be a removal, but just kidding, bro. Hope you're great. Shout out to Billy Bab Schwager in the house. God bless you, man. Popcat, Super Frisky, Vinny the man. Yeah, Vinny's, he's helping out a lot of young men in the trading group. I see him. He's on, dudes. He's like, man, don't whine. Don't complain. You just got to make it happen for yourself. He's 100% right. Anyway, let me give you, all right, there's our big time frame. So we can switch to the small time frame here. So on the small time frames, to me, I see implosion here. And what's funny is your mind gets pretty good at this stuff. But look, I want to teach you something else. Look, I see what's called a cat ears, but the cat ears is slanted and then breaks down. See, what I noticed about all patterns is you'll learn them this way, right? And then like cat ears does this. But that doesn't mean you won't see cat ears like this, slanted up, and it doesn't mean you won't see cat ears sometimes slanted down. And there is slanted down cat ears, right? As you can clearly see, and I'll make it really clear to parent now as well for fun, but there's your first ear, right? There's your second ear. Here's your curvature. And you got that like cat ear that melts down like this, ever so slightly, right? Still in the picture here for a possible reversal, right? And this is what you do. So this is what I do all day. I just study this pattern and I look for reversals. I'm pretty good at calling price action, I guess, because you can see what's going to, like, I know when we lose the 200 on the 1 minute, not too long. And I know when we regain it, it's not a good idea to short if the other time frames look more bullish. You know what I'm saying? I had a dream. Bitcoin went down to 83 last night. Still holding cash on the side. This time for me is to hold and watch. Yeah. Yeah, I believe it's a good time to sit in cash on the sidelines, personally. And you could call me a scared bunny, whatever you want. I just like to procure wealth and keep money on the sides, right? So I'm sitting in Tether pretty heavily, and it is what it is, right? I'm sitting in Tether and my BTC, right? And yeah, wow, that was a beautiful short. 15-minute loss to 200 moving average. All you had to do was put a stop loss on the other side of it. Wish I wasn't taking a shower, but I could see it was going to, I saw it. Look, I drew this for the, and I was like, man, that's a head and shoulder. Did anybody see me draw the head and shoulder? It wasn't the 99. I was in with the 99 just saying, hey, this doesn't look good to me. I shorted Bitcoin right after you took profits at 105. Yep, I'm truly beginning to feel like none of this matters anymore. As good as Sam is, as much as he is in the charts, I just wonder if it even matters. Too like doing it for now. Yeah, but that's why all you got to do is just take your little piece, man. You just take your little piece every time. You see what I mean? That's all. Like, you don't look at the thing, you look at a 10-year plan and you take your little piece each day. For me, there's no other way to go about this. I break it down piece by piece, step by step. So let's finish our top 10 analysis. Looks like Bitcoin's kind of maybe cooling off at 102.5. I don't know. Looks like, I don't know. Get back into the smaller time frames. Yeah, so we're looking to see what can happen. But you can see, so we had the cat ears. We bearishly retested previous support, right? Bounce, bearishly retest. We made an M pattern. See, an M right there. M's break to the downside. Just showing you how price action tells you what's happening. And then, like I said, you're going to have to make an inverted head and shoulder now or more downside. And it, oh, look at it. There's that dumpage, man. So they sucked in late longs today and decided to shred them to the downside. Look at that. Made it a good place to possibly add to the shorts. And one thing I will tell everybody here is, how did I make money today? All right. I made money because when we cross the 200 moving average, I'm bullish. When we lose it, I'm bearish, right? On the short time frames. I do the same thing on the big time frames. Wow, Bitcoin looks like it's in free fall right now as it's about to lose the 15-minute. Let me show you here. If it loses this level, so either you're going to double bottom here or you're dropping right down to 1018. You see how fast that could happen? Let's take a look at the BOOKMAP and see what's happening to BOOKMAP. Yeah, it's got a bunch of liquidity down there at 100,008 and really not much else anywhere else. And it's all the way red down to 93,000 now. Look at that. So BOOKMAP is calling a drop to 93K, starting to suck liquidity. So BOOKMAP's like, we're going to suck liquidity to 100,005. Then we're going to suck it down to 98, and then we're going to rip it down to 93,000. It could be Black Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, 11/12. Today might be Black Wednesday. It just might be the day this thing just takes that dump to the downside. It very well may. You never know. I mean, look at this. It went to the first target. I mean, look how fast this dump happened. That's insane. They slowly built it up, dragged everybody up. And look, my system will save you. You don't long when you lose 200 moving averages. Look, you don't long head and shoulder patterns. You could long it and put a stop loss right here and get stopped out with low risk. Like, you know what I mean? Go, silver's up. Yeah. Oh, how we love the manipulation. Let them laugh. You made a smart move. Yeah, usual Milena to diverge from Trump. Trump does usually. I don't know. I'm not looking at that stuff. Wow, but they're imploding price action right now. Remember, fast dumps like this do the same thing. They pull price away from the 21 the opposite way. And when you lose the 21 this far, you know what I mean? That's a wow. Whoa, look at those. Very interesting today, I'll tell you that. But it does look like it looks like a head and shoulder pattern. So, as I said the other day, anyway, let's finish. I got to finish. So, first things first, the monthly needs to stay above a 102.5. We're testing monthly support yet again. We lose that. The next area you're falling to is 96,200. It just, that's what, and you lose that, you're headed down to 82,005. So that's just the facts, everybody. It is what it is. The 2-week chart looks very bearish as it didn't make a tweezer bottom, but you do have to make a dump first. This could be the low, and then we pump back up, and we make a nice bottom wick. You do have to dump. It is now the second week in November. It's usually where you would make the low, okay? Usually the low of the week is in the second week of November, in the second week, but we'll see. Again, if we had pumped we did pump first, which is kind of garbage, but so now you do have, we could come down more and then set the bottom wick. That's why the weekly looks horrible. As you can see, it opened with a dump. And there's 3 red shoulders now, right? Just like 3 white soldiers, 3 red candles in a row is a bearish sign. It is what it is. And you can clearly see that we could be coming down to 100,988. And we lose that. You can see that lines up with monthly support. The weekly right there, about 96,500. 5-day chart with a bit of a 4-day chart showing signs, but look at that huge wick. No love. 5-day chart had a tweezer bottom. 7-day chart had a tweezer bottom. Not a beautiful. Today is really sad with the way these wicks were made, right? It's like there was a chance. So now look, you're kind of back in this idea, and I feel like you're almost out of the pattern now. I'm willing to say that this is starting to fall out of the bear flag. And so remember, how did I make my money today? I got in a trade right as we crossed the 200 and we got to move. When you're touching the 291, that's a bear flag. Your measured move, right? Like I'm going over the facts. I actually think that it will take you there, right? So there's $86,000 BTC. So sad to say, that's how I trade. So I can't trade this way all day long and then all of a sudden switch bullish. Like it wouldn't make sense, right? It would go against my entire strategy and everything I've been teaching my students for years. So bounce, resistance, right? Previous bounce is a resistance too. Perfect place to actually get into a short when you think about it. Yesterday, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So this thing could start to tumble today, and really start, this could just be the beginning of the move. The smaller time frames are showing you, but the daily's curving here. And possibly rolling over. So, 1025 is a big area because that's that monthly support zone. Look, the 12 and the 22 both look bearish to me as well. So it's probably a good idea to take maybe 1,000 of the 3,000 I made and open up a short. It just makes sense. You know what I mean? And if I'm wrong, so what? I'm still up $2,000 today. If I'm right, I continue to get paid. And then I can add to the short as well. Wish I had already got into the short, to be honest with you, when we were away from the 21 on the 1-hour time frame. But this is a bigger idea. I'm willing to give it some drawdown to make it happen. You see? To me, that's the most important thing. Let's take a look. And wow, look, 777s on the account. What are the odds? So crazy. My win today brought it to 777s. I just find that fascinating. 77777. So that's, you're pretty far away from the 21-day moving average, but it looks like it's pulling it. And wow, man, we just dropped another $300 like the second I said that. Man. So important to take a look. And remember, I took profits on all my trades and I wasn't lying to you. I showed you it. You can see there's no trade open on weeks right now. I'm not hiding a fat loss because that's a bear flag. You could almost say it was a bearish retest. Fell out, bearishly retested this level. And you could even look at that like a head and shoulder pattern. Oh man, I'm missing out on some massive gains right now. It's dropping faster than I can speak. To me, it's kind of right. It's kind, I feel like I'm chasing a green candle now. Look, and there's the head and shoulder breaking down. It just crossed the neckline. Implosion. Another day where the price action moves so fast that while I was doing my analysis, I didn't have time to make the trade. It's okay. I tell myself, God will take care of me, even though I should get paid on that. It's okay. I'm here to teach and help others. Some days I don't get to take what dang it. Like, give me a second. No, it just imploded. Now, like, the trader in me is like, dude, if you chase now, you're chasing it. But it looks bearish as all heck to me. There's usually some type of bounce here, though. I've got the 1 minute on. That thing is imploding. It's got to be a bounce here for a second. You never want to go with the emotional chase. I just can't do it. I could wait later on for a bear flag at a smaller time frame and take a deep breath. You got to control your emotions when it comes to trading. Most important thing, I am not a financial advisor, but I will teach you how to control, or, I will talk about how controlling myself is the only reason I'm still here. Doing nothing is the best thing you can do sometimes. In life, that's in life. Making a decision, relationships, being too emotional. People push people out. A lot of people push people out of their lives because they make an emotional decision that they regret later on. Someone sees a side of them that they know isn't really who they are, but once you show someone the monster in you, nobody's going to want to be around you anymore. Trust me, I used to have anger issues. And I really, I had to talk to God. I had to find myself. It's not easy. And I think we all do. I mean, everybody, if you're an emotional, passionate person, you're going to get angry sometimes. And if you have a lot of energy, you're going to have to learn how to harness that energy. Anger has a way of taking your energy and burning. It's a good fuel for right? So if you so if you're someone with a lot of energy, that means you have to watch out how you use your temper, because it wants to eat through your temper, right? Your temper wants to eat through your energy. And I found that too. And then you want to learn how to channel your energy. That's how working out, balancing yourself out, eating right, sleeping, very important for people with high energy. If you're like me, someone with extreme high energy, like you just noticed when everyone else wanted to chill, you wanted to keep moving. You ever play basketball with your friends, everyone's done, you wish you could play for another extra hour? If every time you were in a group and they finished the activity, you always wish it could go on for another hour? When everyone else seems done, you just want to keep going? When you work out with your buddies and they're exhausted, you're like, I could do one more rep. If you're that person, which is me and you and probably lifers, because that's who we attract here on the channel, then that's just how you're going to, you're not going to be able to stop that. So, I mean, look, that's a head and shoulder pattern right there. And there's the measured move down. So the stop loss would be at like 105, 195. And there you go. You click on this. 105. It's 316. AA. 92941. 92491. Alts on sale, man. Every time I get that bite, like alts are going to pump again, and you get that FOMO. I've been walking away from that FOMO. Yesterday, we took the short. The short played out, right? I took a short live in front of everyone. Some dude was like, don't do it, you're going to lose. Whoever that dude is, are you here today? Because we made gains on this short. All right. I'm like, damn, I'm just warming up. I finished my hockey games, and I'm like, damn, I know, right? Can we play two more? That's how I attract people of high energy, because I'm high energy. The algorithm can feel that. You can't fake that type of energy, right? That's why the stream prevails in the bear market. Everyone's like, how did this dude double in the bear market? How did his channel keep going? Well, we struggled. Because this channel is not just about the market. This channel is about life. We trade through life, right? Crypto lifers. Okay, we love crypto, but we are lifers. We put life. Life is the number one thing all the way, right? We want to live to our fullest extent. So look, we risk 800 for 24 at the beginning of this trade. And that way, if we lose, we're still up today. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just proper risk management. It's just things don't look too good right now for Bitcoin. That's a head and shoulder pattern. We might as well play the probability. I am a little late. I don't love the entry. The entry should have been at a better time. But man, this thing could really start to collapse here on the daily. And you're losing the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Something that, so today, for me to go long, we needed to make a nice, beautiful, but they gave it all back immediately. It's pretty crazy. So, and then you can see BOOKMAP loading up with liquidity waiting. So what they did is they sucked in a bunch of longs in the last 2 days. They had people very emotional. Up and down, up and down, up and down. People do not want to believe price could go back down. Very hard for people to take an L, right? It's very difficult. And so that's just something I've seen. And again, maybe we bounce and I get hit. If I get hit, I'm still up on the day. You know what I'm saying? I still make about $2,000 on the day, a little over that. So everything will be okay. I'm not over risking myself. It would stink, but I'm all right. Desire, dedication, discipline, and determination. First, you get the desire to change your life. Then you get the dedication to do something every single day. You're like, you know what? I like this. I'm going to do it. Then there's some days you just, you want to go off with your friends. You want to go party. You get invited on a boat somewhere. And you got to say, no, I'm going to stick to my goals and my dreams. And you got to have the discipline. And then no matter what, you got to stay determined. And those are the 4 Ds I live by: the desire, the dedication, the discipline, and the determination to go all the way. All right. And if the entire system is rigged, yes, I know. That's why we are able to trade it. See, when they pull away from the 21 and they bring it back, rigged, right? Great. Because it's rigged, we're able to see what's happening in price action. All right? Because it's rigged. So let me see if this is going to get a massive, they might give it a massive reversal here, or it might just be making a flag. We'll see. We want to see this make a bear flag now and continue its treachery. $100,850 for BTC. And I think a lot of bearish news today coming out. They went hard on Trump again today. I think that's, I'm just, and someone said, how do you, someone asked me about the news and all that. And I have a perfect thing to tell you in a second. Let's take a sip of that lemon water. Let's stay hydrated here. But it looks like we may print on this short on the live stream. We will see, though. Only time will tell. Remember, you don't have to make every day. Doesn't have to be the biggest day. Look, success is not something, getting rich, trading, success, all that stuff is not something that happens immediately in anybody's life. Okay? Nobody became a success in trading. No one started their first week, had a mentor for a year, did everything the mentor said, and just all of a sudden made millions of dollars. It's very, if it does happen, that person usually loses it or spends it somewhat still, in a frivolous way. So you don't want to, in my humble opinion, a human being should never desire to get rich fast or to be able to get a bunch of money overnight. A human being should say, I want to build something that's sustainable over time, that's hard, that pushes me to my limits, that makes me find out who I really am and become successful. Like, I want to do both, I don't want it handed. If you get something handed to you, imagine if you went to the gym or you took a pill and it just made you big. You didn't have to go lift weights. You didn't have to do anything. You just kept taking the pill every morning. You could sit on your butt, eat potato chips, and you just were jacked when you came out the door in about 2 months. Imagine that. That's unrealistic, 100%, right? That's the same thing with trading. It's unrealistic to think you're going to be jacked at trading overnight. I just take it, by just doing there's going to be some serious work to put in. So if you constantly remind yourself that trading is just like going to the gym, it's just like lifting weights, and that nobody gets big overnight, nobody gets rich overnight. Everybody thinks people hit it big, success stories and all this. They see someone successful and it feels like they've been successful the whole time, that everything's always gone their way. Looks like just everything is working for them. I used to be at work watching a YouTuber and it's like, man, this guy's got everything going for him. I've been watching a YouTuber. He's getting super chats. He's hitting. His trades are going well. This guy's amazing, And I'd be like, wow, this is unreal. What a life. So, weird stuff happening with Swift. No money pump. Yeah. Ran it above moving averages this morning. Dump it for the bots to kick in. Yeah. Those are called peptides. You're funny, man. ChatGPT, don't know. You're funny. We call them yellow. Yeah. I asked ChatGPT about Polygon lowest possibility price. It's considering its ecosystem minimum is 4 cents. I mean, that's not crazy. Look how we're high in the stochastics without getting much love. Possible double bottom of the 1 minute. Hey, I might lose $800 in the live. You never know what I'm going to do. You never know what's going to happen. I'm taking a risk every time I trade. Reasons answer if the primary ever another free. Yeah. Anyway, everyone, if you want to get the knowledge, okay? If you want to get knowledge at an affordable rate, okay? And you want to do what you got to do to get that knowledge, and I believe it's the most premium knowledge on the internet, on the interwebs, I suggest you go to the link below my video right now today, all right, as we speak, which I have cooking for you. Go to this link right here, which is right below the video. Take a moment. I'll give you a second here. Hit the Black Friday early bird sale. Hit that link. This is going to come up. And I would fill out this form, okay? If you got wrecked yesterday, if you're getting wrecked this morning, if you're chasing, if you're using emotions, if you don't have a system, you don't understand that you can make money up or down no matter which way the money, you can make proper assessments of the market no matter which way it is going, up or down. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have that knowledge, get that knowledge, folks. Fill in this form, do what you got to do. This will give you 24-hour access to my Black Friday sale. You'll get I believe it is, but I don't know exactly, but it will give you an extra percentage off on top of what you already are getting off, which is unreal. So look, there's a bit of a fall there too. So we would be in the money now, not huge, but we're in the money. And this thing has started, it broke the plane, it broke this. And so the idea is this head and shoulder could take you further down, right? And now you're looking in, once you break 100,000, I mean, that's when the real pain will come. And then we'll get this fear and greed into the teens. This comes into the teens, there's going to be a really, really, that's keep coming to Papa, baby. This is where I really salivate for BTC. This is where Bitcoin makes sense to me. This is where I want more and more BTC. Okay? So this is what made me. I was able to get Bitcoin in the fear when, waiting all bear market for these levels. I only got them a few times in my life, 5 or 6. So this will be like the 7th time or 6th time, maybe 7th time in our lives we get it. If we are lucky enough to even get it, right? Bitcoin getting battled. The movement on the 1 hour time frame is amazing to watch here on BOOKMAP. I love watching the volatility. Look at this. When this thing starts to bubble up and move fast like this, the fans of the computer, you know how it runs. Things start to get crazy. The energy starts ripping. And look, we got a bunch of liquidity down here. So this is what it is. I don't mean to be the bearer of bearish news. I'm just the guy that shows you the chats, baby. Show me the chats and I'll show you the news. Bit of bullish divergence on the 1 minute. Could wreck me. Doesn't look that strong though, with where the stochastics sit. But it is a little bullish div. See it? A little bit of bullish div there for BTC. For me, it looks kind of like it may just bear flag itself down. I look for this to make a descending triangle here. The trend is not your friend, so we're going to stay bear on this day. Damn, man. So we sold the top in the group this morning. And if you're just jumping on in, my name's Sam Price. I've traded the Toronto Stock Exchange. I've traded the New York Stock Exchange. Okay? I've dabbled in some Forex. I've traded gold for a long time, gold and silver stocks. All right? And then I switched to trading BTC. And now I trade Bitcoin full time, basically every single day of my life. This is a reality TV show of a trader's life. Just learning from watching me do what I do every single day, maneuvering through the charts, using small time frames, big time frames. You can see we start at the monthly, we whittle our way back down. All right. Large sell-offs coming. Beans and rice, baby. If you can buy 100K Bitcoin on a stream, Fear 24, are you even trying? Yeah. I told y'all yesterday, nobody. Listen, shout out to Leather Belt. Yeah. Metals pumping, Tijuana street vendor trading. I love it, man. I like that. Hey, it feels like that sometimes. So, let's just kind of go over everything logically here for a second. Let's finish the top-down analysis, which I didn't get a chance to do. I'll finish it on the Bybit chart, but that looks so bearish, right? Well, what chart is this now? It's not the same one I was just on, right? Because I got this cooking. Oh, yeah, so this is a perp, and this is okay, cool. So we got 2 charts going right now. Bitcoin 1018, the short going well. So we can kind of rest easy on that for a second, right? So look, head and shoulder pattern broke the level. You're coming down for the double bottom here now to test this level. Once you break it, you can see, look, there's some chop. There's going to be some support at 98 and then 93,000. And that's kind of right on. Those are the exact levels BOOKMAP has mapped out. Isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Look, if I shrink this, they're exact. Look at that. I mean, that's it. And so BOOKMAP's telling you it's likely going to take you lower. I just do what BOOKMAP tells me to do. I do what the charts tell me to do. I try not to push it too far here, right? It's obvious Bitcoin is now below fair price. It won't stay below 102 for long considering upcoming events. And I see a bounce that's going to take everyone by surprise, in my opinion. Not finance. Hey, you never know. I don't know what any of these people are saying. I just see the charts. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But the 5-day didn't look amazing with wicks to the downside. See the 4-day too? Look at that all. The 2-day, that's a bullish engulfing on the 2-day, bearish engulfing. You are still above the 200 moving average. We could say, hey, as long as we stay above the 200. I don't stress you. I would, you know, that's a strong argument. So here you go. As long as Bitcoin stays above the 200, the bulls have a chance here to survive. I would really pay a lot of attention to that 2-day 200 moving average. It held us down here back in April. And it's crazy. That day is a very special day in my life, which is very strange. So coincidentally, you know, coincidentally on my birthday, Bitcoin bounced. That's very strange, right? So, hey, am I going to get a mid-birthday present here? Or are they going to crush my hopes and dreams? Only time will tell. Next on the Bitcoin Sagas. So let's take a look here at the daily time frame and see what's happening. So for the daily, you have, and it's funny, man. I remember this pattern too is broken out twice now in Bitcoin's life, but it does look like the beginning of another head and shoulder. It's look, head and shoulder, head and shoulder, head and shoulder. It's like it's telegraphing bearish vibes. I remember we talked about the fact that this looked like a bear flag that was breaking to the downside. Last night, I thought this candle would go back to the top. And then I said, you know, possibly we dump again. I said, just because we pump back to the channel, I don't think we couldn't still be in a bear flag. I said, I'm not bullish unless the daily gets back above that 200 moving average. You see what I mean? Like, I would lower that to like 97. Right where that resistance is. See that? So next stop looks to me like about 96.9, 96.8. And Bitcoin has imploded now. You're in the money on the trade up 12%. I'm adding more to the gains we already made today. And I got in late on that short, but you got it. You know what I mean? I saw what I saw. 101,550. It looks like they're going to implode us down there to 97.5 in the next. Looks like there's going to be some money to be made here on this short. Shout out to my lifers. Congratulate everybody out here. Several recent bear attacks and now, ooh, 96. You guys are funny, man. People are in denial. They don't like hearing me talk about bearish targets. If they could, they would throw a tomato at me. It is what it is. Shout out to the 1,700 beautiful souls here on the live. Can we get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. I took my gains 11%, baby. Why do people hold on to hope and believe things could never go back down? It doesn't have to go to zero, but it can retrace 100%, crypto weirdo. I love you, man. You know, I said on the live, on the update this morning to the group, I said, if anything is possible, then anything is possible. We can't believe anything is possible and then say some things aren't, and then say, well, we can't dump. So then not everything is possible then, right? Isn't that interesting? So once you're truly open-minded and all things have happened up and down and up, I mean, that's a pretty strong bull div there. 1015 is attempting to dig in. And again, remember, you like to fall with the 21. So again, we'll just have to kind of reconnect to the 21-day moving average. Now we have another resistance point, though, for BTC. And I'm all about just long-term Bitcoin holding and shorting and longing for day trades, Make a couple $1,000 a day if you can. That's all I'm looking at. That's all I'm looking at. If I can, you know what I mean? And if I don't, it is what it is. Like, I go from there. One step at a time, one day at a time. Keep the risk very small. Like right there, I didn't risk what I made today just to make more money. That could have been greedy, right? I didn't do that. And someone said, why didn't you go all the way? Go hard, you know? And again, I mean, that was a beautiful short, though, away from the 21. I'm going to start doing that more. I'm going to write it down because I've missed that, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 times in the last few weeks. And I knew it was, you know, right when I said, look, I sold that exact top, remember on the plane? That was a short that could still be in right now. And it could have added to it right there. This could be places just to add to a bigger short from 106 even. Remember the short I gave you at 107.7 is still in the gains. That right shoulder still doing things. Look at this thing. It's imploding. Show me the money. Put a 333 if you're in gains on that short. Either you got him before me, figured it out, use your own strategy, figured out my strategy, put a 333. If you're in gains on the short right now, shout out to the 1,660 beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. If you want to know what I know and learn what I learn, my people, go right here to the Black Friday Early Bird, hit that link, fill out the form, and get yourself that extra 10% discount, all right? That's the most affordable price for a premium Discord in the game. I'm telling you right now. And, you know, you want to get yourself in today, get that done before you forget so it's taken care of. Fill out that form right now, okay? And get her done. So look at this thing going sideways on the 1-minute time frame. And we got a little bit of bullish divvy there, right? Do I just scalp my gains and then add to my short again at another time? I don't like to lose. Looks pretty bearish to me, but we'll see. You're very far from the 21-day moving average on the 5-minute time frame. Tells me I was a little crazy on that short too to jump in early. I'll put the stop a little bit above break. If they come up and get me, I'll wait to get into a flag. I'm just, you know what I mean? It's all about preserving capital, in my humble opinion. They're probably going to come get me. Take my 7.5. You never know. I could stay in. You never know. But that's why I like to short. You want to short and you want to make your moves. Once this closes below the 200, boom, stop. You know, and that's what I do. And stop loss above maybe these wick. You know this. And look, it was a head and shoulder pattern. It's crazy. And they pumped you very fast away for the 21. This is signature behavior. They did it here. They did it here. You can see wick up. Suck all the longs in. So make price action up and down. Get people real weird and weary, right? Freak them out. Get in their heads a little bit, you know? And then get them all kind of, and then pump it real fast in the middle of the night. Have them all wake up kind of like chasing, and then dump it on their face. Smash the like button. Shout out to Underground Crypto in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody, big deal. Tomorrow, the live stream will be from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Unfortunately, I do have to fly to Portugal. All right, and so I will have to live stream from 8 to 10. Then I got to whip over to the airport with my friend, Underground Crypto. And then we're going to head on. I'm going to head on out to Portugal. All right, and then we'll do the live stream. It'll be 3 o'clock to 5 for me, I believe, because we're 5 hours ahead, right? So from 3 to 5 on Friday afternoon, I will be doing the live stream. Then we'll have the weekend streams, and then one Monday stream may be slightly interrupted, and then I will be back to the regular scheduled program when I fly home, I believe might even fly home on Sunday, the 16th. Yeah, I'll be home. I might even be home by Monday, man, the way I'm looking at it. Yeah. The 17th, yeah. I'll let you guys know, but just to let you know, tomorrow, mark your calendars, I will be 2 hours early. It might be good for some of you, might be bad for some of you. I apologize for that. But mark it down. Well, we got a big crowd here, 1,700 people here on the live. And these dumps bring the eyes. People want to see what's happening when Bitcoin is dumping to the downside. Dear Lord, thank you for the beautiful souls you send to the live stream. Thank you for everybody here. All right, let's keep going with the TA. So I'm still in. As you can see, I'm taking a shot. The anxiety is high. 1 minute time frame. Doesn't look amazing though, right? It's all about the 21. You keep tapping the 21. You keep making a bear flag. You're going to continue further to the downside. The trends you're friended to. It's not right now. There's no reason. I don't see a beautiful reversal on the horizon. And remember, BOOKMAP has big red for us screaming. It's going to take out that 97.5 area And when has BOOKMAP really been wrong for us? It's been wrong, but not, it's wrong like, I'd say 5 or 10% of the time. So with my TA combined with BOOKMAP, combined with my strategies and my years of watching price action with the 21 and the 200, it's just like a 90% accuracy here on the channel some days. Like, we really hit it. Some days. There's a 90% some days away, right? Well, you know, we're pretty good at figuring out where price can go. Watch it pump in my face right now, right? But again, you never know what's going to happen. The key is to always be humble about price and know that you're never, you know, never get conceitedly like, I'm the master, I'm the best. Never do that, right? Always remain humble with price action. Because the second you think you're the greatest and you want to tell everyone how great you are, that's when you'll get bopped. I'm telling you right now. I'm, you know, especially when I do this in the public eye, I'm very careful. And honestly, sometimes being in the public eye helped me as a person because it's like, I got to take profits. I got to show the right way to live. I got to be the disciplined guy. You know, I got a lot of young people that look up to me and watch me and believe in me, right? So it's important that I stay disciplined. I don't get caught up in the glim and glamour. I don't get caught up in the glim and glamour. Yeah, so the meltdown continues here for BTC. And will we see lower lows to 92.5? It looks like it's coming. Nothing's guaranteed. You know, we may hold 100,000, but I got to tell you, it doesn't look amazing from my long-term analysis. Like the daily here, and then let's move to the 12 and the 22, both at their high levels on the stochastics RSI. Both curving kind of down on the RSI here too as well. And then the MACD just not looking amazing. You know, lack of bullish momentum. Same, remember when the hill is small? It's kind of like, you know, look at curving down. Like, you never know at any moment. This, you know, one thing I will show you. I'm open-minded. Like, what if it's a shoulder, a head, and a right? And we, you know, you never know. But right now, not amazing. Looks like I may get tapped out on the short though, as we lost a lot of those gains at the beginning. And again, I'm sure people go way harder than me. I see people with most people with way less money than me trade far riskier than me. And I get it. It's that anxiety to make more. But like I told you, people want to get known somehow, in some way, in whatever they do in life. And then they envy or look up to the people who are known already in that industry or whatever they want to desire to be in. It could be a car racer, it could be a YouTuber, it could be whatever it is, right? It could be a football player, and they look up to that person. I want to become as successful as that person. But they don't realize is everyone that you know that you look up to has went through so much trials and tribulations and pain to get there. God put successful people through so much before they become to a level of success that I think like God begins to provide for you. It's almost like he wants to make sure if he's going to hand it to you in the best sense that you're going to use it the best way possible, right? You're not going to squander it. You're going to use it the best way possible. So you get to fly, brother. Shout out to Rave Song Records. If it's over, I won't be doing anything but buying cheap BTC, affordable Bitcoin. Yeah, lost about 10K so far from stupid altcoins. Jennifer, I love you. Sorry to hear that. Sam, did you not get in a 4 BTC short yesterday? 2x levy. Shout out to VisionFX, I love you. Thank you. I think bulls have been punished enough. I know. Yes, I did, but I took profits on that short, man, and then I longed last night. Yeah, I've been all over the markets here. I somehow hit that pump last night. I have no idea how. Wow, we're at 777s there for a second. Okay, so let's get back in. Yeah, so back into that 1 minute. Again, just looking. Look, and now you're starting to make that descender. Just looks more and more bearish to me. That takes you to 100,500 for Bitcoin. We would begin to print pretty nicely there. Yes, I remember when it was, yes. Wait a few years for Bitcoin for 20K a month and 100K expensive. Wait for the bear market. Oof, 20K, man. Yikes. All this does is push people away from crypto, you know. I don't know what it does. I don't really stress. I just go one step at a time, one day at a time, man. Yeah. I know a lot of people that are waiting to get in crypto, and they like to see these better prices. They were scared by 100,000. Their friends and family said, if it could ever go below, a lot of retail is being told that if it gets below 100, that's what I hear around. One of my buddies, he's retail. He just texted me. He's like, looks like a nice time to buy. Like, he waits for the markets to look nasty and dump. He doesn't know a lot about BTC, so whenever the markets look bad, he texts me and he's like, man, looks like it might be a nice place to get in, But I stash cash and I'm sticking in cash, and I'm waiting. I see nothing else to do right now at the present moment. When I was 20, I got my first record deal, blew it all because I thought I would just keep coming. I acted much different later. Amen. Yeah. We'll be back at 100 by the end of the day. Somebody says, that's crazy. That would be awesome. I would love that. I would love that. Sam, did you not get into it for me? Why does this guy keep asking me the same thing? I got into I believe it was a 4K short. No, it was 47X. Yeah, I told you I sold the short for gains. And then last night I got into a long. I sold the long for gains this morning. I'm now back in a short. Yeah. That looks like it could invert. That's a possible reversal pattern now. See, now we're having signs of life. Now we might be able to bounce out of here. This could be a bottom. That's a very strong bullish div on the 1 minute. You don't have to, everyone wants to be a hero along the absolute bottom. If this does not play, we got a bear div there too. If this rolls over, I mean, it's like very likely, because this is what gives you the juice. I would not long this. I would stay short. But you're going to do whatever makes you happy. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taken as such. Do whatever makes you happy. He got to get out when he saw the market turning, yeah. In cash and waiting for the low, zoom out and look at the larger time frames, yeah. Boss don't know the news. Retail does move, yeah. The smart money buys red and sells green, because when you chase, you become the smart money's exit liquidity, yeah. Yeah. Zan, Anoma is a sleeper. I don't know, man. That price actually looks horrible. Looks like a VC honey pop, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The tech looks cool. I don't know what happened to that price action, though. It's trying to buy affordable and sell for a couple $100. Probably buy them and do it all over again. And you get, I don't know. You do whatever makes you happy, man. Yeah. As long as you're not doing it like every 5 seconds. Lisbon, baby, Lisbon. I feel that BTC won't be longer, but that's only intuition. I could be wrong. If I went by feelings and what I felt, I'd say Bitcoin never goes below 100K, all this fun stuff. I have no idea. Let's all just kind of take a deep breath and say, repeat after me, everybody. Ready? We're going to stop the music. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. It's very relieving once you say it. Just let it come out and realize, like, your intuition, your feelings, your thoughts, they're most of the time in trading are going to get the trader into trouble. We don't want to be using those. Okay? We don't want to be using those. They're tied to emotions and feelings, and they don't make sense. What is this lily blowing up? That's interesting. I don't know what it is. It looks a little sketchy to me. Might be low volume. Sweet getting crushed. Yeah, the theory charge made no sense short term. So much money, yeah. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Boom. And just a little bit more than that, too. I'm not happy when I'm training and making gains alongside you in the group. God bless you, grow. I grow. Me too, brother. Me too. I used to say the more I know, the more I don't know. I know. That's what happens. Bitcoin looking to roll over to 100,005. BOOKMAP suggesting if you're just jumping on in, we're in a short right now for Bitcoin. On weeks, live as we speak, it rhymes. And we're up about 10%. We've already made about $2,700 today on a long from last night. Woke up to gains in my sleep. And now we're seeing if we can add to that. We have the stop loss above break even. So the worst thing comes, we just break even on fees, really, it looks like. And we're seeing if we can ride this next bear flag to the downside here, the 1 minute time frame. Welcome on in. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. I appreciate you. Thank you. I do have a premium Discord, the most affordable premium information in the game when it comes to technical analysis education. and information. And we have entire educational and informational content directory in there that will lead you to the right path. Show you all the things that I've learned in my years and years of trading that I can give you. You know, it's kind of the way I talk about it is like if you went into a jungle and you didn't have a guide, and there's a good chance you could get bit by the snake, eat the wrong berry, maybe eat the wrong leaf, and it just doesn't, you know. But what if you had someone that had been living in that jungle for like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, maybe even 12 years, 15 years? I mean, they would know so much, and that person survived too. You can see the battle scars in them. You can see their, you know, how long they've lived in that jungle. If you were going to live in the jungle, would you want to hang out with that person? I would, man. I would spend a month or two with that person every day if I could. I would go get them coconuts and beg them to hang out because I know they could save my life. So trading is similar to that, you know what I mean? And but you know what I mean? If you're going to be in the jungle, you might as well be with somebody that survived the jungle, has been in the jungle for a long time, and shows you live all the time. Like I went in and out last night. How I did what I did last night was magic, man. Come on. And again, I'm lucky to have done it, but is luck preparation? Luck doesn't exist. Men make luck. People call you lucky when you're consistent. That's all. Be the most consistent guy in the room, and everybody will call you lucky. Who's going to get it? The guy that goes to bat? Who's going to hit a home run? The guy that goes to bat every single time, or the guy that barely shows up? I mean, who do you think's going to win? No one can be jealous of your consistency when you show up every single time and you end up with the nicest car, the nicest house, the nicest life. They're going to say, well, that's the guy that never took a day off. Nobody will hate on you. People will love you. You will get rewarded for being you. And isn't that the dream life that you're looking for? I think so. Honor and respect from everybody. Money is whatever. Can you get honor and respect? Do people believe in your consistency? They asked people in America what their favorite thing in life is. And you know what they said is consistency, man. An American person likes consistency more than anything else in life. Who wants a friend? What do you want in a friend? Someone that you call and shows up late half the time? Or someone that's like, you know what, I'll be there a half an hour early. Have no fear. I got you. Who do you want to have in your life? A consistent friend? Of course you want a consistent friend. Everybody does. Nobody wants someone that's not consistent in their life. So be the same person you want other people to be in your life. You know, you don't deserve, I used to ask myself, I knew what excellence was. I'd watch a movie, I'd read a book, I'd be on the train for a second, and I'd have a split-second moment where I'd be like, dang, I want to have really awesome people in my life. And then I'd say, but you go to the bar, you hang out, you fall asleep in the afternoon. I'm like, yeah. I said, you're not really going after your dreams like you should. I said, you don't really deserve to be around the people that are going after their dreams then, do you? And I'd be quiet with my thoughts, and I'd be like, no. And I'd say, man, until you become who you want to become, you're not going to be able to have the coolest friends in the world and the people that are changing the world. Because they're going to be able to see through the fact that you're just not doing what you got to do, and they are attracting the best in their life. And if you're not the best, you don't deserve to be around them, do you? And I used to say this to myself. And I wasn't putting myself down. I was being very real with myself. All right. Look, there's a bit of an inverted head and shoulder there for Bitcoin. Still sketchy. It could go either way right now, folks. I wouldn't get too cocky on the bye-bye short stuff. You never know. It does look like it did break this little mini trend line, though. Could rip back up to 102.5. I'd be careful. I'm covered, as you can see. Now, look, they're going to come snipe me. But look, I can see what's going on, right? I can, wow. Would that be amazing if it gets rejected right there? Right there. Right there, bro. Right there. Show me the head and shoulder right there, bro. Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the downside. Right there, over there. Buy Zcash and start winning today. Somebody said you guys are crazy, man. We need to stay above 102 for a long now. I mean, now we broke below that monthly support line. That's a key. Everyone, that like 96 is so likely now. 97.5, you know. Now they're just going to toy with people, trying to suck in late longs, in my humble opinion, and scare away the late shorts. It's a perfect. I mean, wouldn't you do that? Break the leaves, as we call it. You know, you've already kind of done it all, but now you're going around the edges. You know, you make the omelet, and there's that last little bit of egg. You kind of have to, you have to move around that. You know, they're just That's what they're doing. They're ripping through every last person here. I like the way you do it right there. I know, right? Hey. Why did it crash? Crash. Whoa, look, they took me out of the short. In gains, baby, gains. Sammy no lose. Sammy no lose, no. Sammy no lose now. Sammy no lose now, baby. Okay. But is it still treachery? Looks pretty bearish to me on the bigger time frames, no? Remember, you don't have to chase. Even if we dump today, we could get above the 1 minute, and I could make a long at like 8 o'clock tonight with my model. Why did I picture a lifer with long hair showing us the way in the jungle? That's the thing, right? I got like a stick. I'm like, here we go, folks. All the way to the upside, all the way to rippage, right? Someone says, so Sammy got liquidated. I did not get liquidated. It was a stop loss. Yeah. I lost $17, everybody. Eating the shorts like a golden retriever. You're funny. Yo, that's hilarious. Just gulping them down like a Rockwilder, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's break it down again. I need clarity in my mind. I need clarity. So Bitcoin has to get back above 106.2. That's a clear daily resistance. Looks like it might even be building another head and shoulder. Like, what if this is it might just be, it might give us a gift right there. You know, it might make it really simple. They may make it very easy to short this market here. Mike, a bit easy short market, eh? Hey, it's time to short market, eh? I want to go on the next spaces and talk with accent, eh? Say, I like this market a bit, eh? Everyone's like, you know, English, you know, what you talking about, mate? But what you spot, boy? Don't talk to me, get a bit of a chin waggle, eh? What you talking about? Hey. So, you know, still a head and shoulder pattern. You can't say that's not a head, a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder over here. That goes further to the downside, eh? Hey, don't let me take you to the downside, huh? The other side of town over here, 98,684. Hey, boss, I'm not sure we should be going over there, you know? You never know. So, look, I mean, you know, 4 hours fighting, it's attempting to fight a double bottom there. Some support, but it looks weak sauce. Yeah, the way I look at it is, to me, that's the bear flag, and that's the bearish retest. We talked about this the other day, how the right shoulder can be a bearish retest. Seen it many times. So we sit in limbo, but I mean, the odds are that there's more downside here. Take, you know, like even the 4 hour, and that's just, you know, that's the idea. Oh, sorry. Let me use the short position here. But this is the idea. All right. And this kind of comes all the way back down here somewhere to $91,000 BTC. You see, something like this, 106, you know, like that. I mean, it's a 2-to-1. It's not my favorite. You could actually bring this right to the top there. 2.8 ain't bad. And if you bring that up a little bit, oh, there we get a 322 on that. So, you know, that still looks like a pretty plausible move to me. Stop loss above 105.3. And I could look for better entry, right? Can you say EA Sports? EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. If you look back, put in Bitcoin in the middle. Tom Brady all the way back to pass. Stephen Curry from downtown. It's 4th down and 3. Tom Beatty. It's 4th down and 3. Tom Brady all the way back to pass. Joe Montana from downtown. Yeah, exactly. Babe, it doesn't matter. I took care of it. I played a cop. I played a fireman. I can do this. I was the shooter. I played Turk Tickler. I did so many things in my life, babe. I can do this. Don't put me down in my house in front of my kids. I'm Mark Wahlberg. I approve this message. It's okay, kid. Dude, I hang out with Jordan Lucas all the time, dude. He picked me up. Yeah, we were driving around the Lambo, dude. It doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter, kid. Yo, kid, just focus on your working out. Take your protein shakes. It's going to be all right, dude. All right? I love you. Jesus loves you, kid. 6'7". I said Joe Montana. Hey, shout out to Joe Montana over here. Blessings to be alive on the live stream. Super special sauce and extra lady to gravy for Sammy and the Lifer Gang. You'll go crazy when you discover the magic of the LSMA 25. Thank you. Hey, I might stash that in my back pocket. Don't tell a word, though. I'm going to delete your comment now and only keep it to my little chef. I'm just joking. I'm probably the only one that remembers, though. You know what I mean? I store that to the bank. All right, so Bitcoin. Seems like it could be double bottoming. It's fighting 101,350. All the fun. I mean, we had a nice little pump there to the downside. It does look, I'm just showing you how the short looks like it's going to continue. But let's see. You know, I like to make extremely beautiful entries here. So now we're away from the 21, like pretty far. Just like the long that happened earlier today when you're away from the 21 on the 1 hour. You know, you're pretty far from the 21 even on the 1 hour time frame too as well. No hidden bullish, nothing saucy, nothing I'm really liking to see here. The only thing I see over and over again is this head and shoulder pattern. Over, shoulder, head, right shoulder. I just keep seeing it. And we broke the neckline. So to me, I see more downside. Personally, I'd flag out the 5 minute and look for a bear flag. Looks like that thing's going to continue to the downside. Personally, I do see more dumpage for Bitcoin to 99,200. I did pretty good, you know, I'm a lev day. I like to lev day, you know, do a day by day. I like to take my profits as the day ends and start them as the day begins. Or be in overnight while I'm sleeping and wake up to gains, as we did today. That's my favorite thing to do. Doesn't mean it happens every single time, but it happens a lot. We have a song called Gains in My Sleep that we wrote. Gains in my sleep. Not today, though. Too many new people here. They won't understand, think I'm a weirdo singing on the stream like Justin Timberlake. Oh, I won't be driving like him, though. Hey. Keep it down, Sammy. Keep it down. Hey, Tom and his key. Look out for how prices starting at the certain levels. Yeah, but you know what? Every time I wear this Zenga suit, I feel like being talking like a gangster over here. Hey, buddy, get the car. I like your vibe. I can't wait to see what you do after this crypto business will finally be over, man. God bless you. You never know. 600 million liquidated on longs. Wow, people, don't learn. It's crazy, right? They all jumped in and went crazy. And if you're in my live stream or you were in my trading group, we talked about paying the trader. Sam, can you please take a look at Monero? Thank you. Yeah. And it looks good to continue to the downside. I know. Blue on blue, baby. Hey, the pocket square is slipping down there. Bring it up there, Joey. Hey, Bobby. Thank you for the pasta. Shout out to Reliable J in the house. Shout out to the real Don D in the house. $40 billion of short liquidity above us. 40 billion of longs below us. 10-to-1 difference. Sam Price for president, says my man. Hey, thank you. Hey, he said it. I didn't say it over here. And the crowd goes wild. Anyway, we had a good day of trading. I'm super excited. And it may not be over. Seems like there's some more gains to be had here to the downside. So Bitcoin, you know, we got to kind of wait out that 1 minute oversold. Today looks like a 5-day chart to me, though. What I've learned about trading is always zooming out, making the position, when things don't look amazing, encapsulating the position. So what I really want to do is I want to get right there, and right there. But I know they could beep, bop, boop. So what I'm talking about is like wrapping it in bubble wrap. And you're going to be like, what did he just say? Like, he's talking about trading. He talked about bubble wrap. Is he doing one of the things where he's going out of his mind again like he was in Dubai? No. I'm not jet lagged and like I was talking tongues one day. The idea is this. Egg day. The idea is this, right? I'll look at price action and it'll be a little sketchy to me. It won't look amazing, right? It will look like they're doing some funny business. So I'll put my trade around the trade. Like I know the trade. The trade would be to get in right here, put a stop near that 21, and only have to get to 99.6, right? I wouldn't have to get all the way to 98.5. But to be around the trade, understand? To me is the key, is like to encapsulate that trade. So now to lose, they'd have to put me up so high against that position, right? And that's the key. So I wasn't trying to gloat and show wins there. I guess that's just the program likes to do that when you come back. So I like that. It's cool. Hey, you would have made gains with Sammy and say, hey, if you listen to Sammy, you would have made some gains over here. No, if you took educational, you got education and you figured it out for yourself, maybe there's a chance all things would have aligned for you. Who knows, though? It took me a long time to figure out the sauce and the science. It's definitely not easy. And, you know, learning to trade is a very tough profession. Very, very tough. Short, take profits. I probably have it upside down like I always do over here. Yeah. 98, 513. Now we're in business. I was like, why didn't you let me short? And actually it got perfect, right? Because we got a little bit of a green, some green love there. 102.713. Again, like 5 for 1,500, right? Today's the biggest IBIT volume of the week. It's pretty big. For the short trade, if we break 101.5, then quickly in and out at 101.1. I don't know. It's up to you. It was educational day, man. It always has been, and it always will be. Go big, impression of the heart. Haha, life for intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. AMC will provide squeeze while we're waiting for the bitty Bitcoin. Yeah. Someone says SEI looking all right on the 3-minute time frame. I'd stay away. I'd stay off of altcoins right now. Stochastics look like they're about to break down. Just want to wait for this. I want to be perfect entry into the short. Well, I mean, the stochastics are high on that. So we're looking for this flag to dump us now as the stochastics reset to the downside. I use these to, enter and exit trades with the 21 closeness and the bear flagging and the trend, below the 200 moving average. Start to print, we'll see. You never know. Look, 0.77 though. Can I be the king of 3%? That would be amazing, right? Nobody makes 3% more than me over here. How fast can I get the 3%, eh? I made 100% on us today morning. Now, again, great market, yeah. This government is a bunch, yeah. I don't think altcoins can go any lower. No sleep crew of the Discord, let's go. No sleep crew of the Discord. I love you, man. God bless the Vinny, man. I seen you going hard. You have to be very brave to trade on alts, low time frames. They all seem to be fading me out. I don't touch alts on low time frames. I trade BTC, man. Yeah, I learned my lesson too many times. And even every time, sometimes I dabble. The market even will start to go good. Like things will start to go well. I'll dabble in an alt. It's like 80% loss rate. Bitcoin, I'm banging on them. I'll lose 2 out of 11 trades. I'll be amazing. So I stay away, yeah. It's almost guaranteed, somebody says, yeah. Long bottom, short top and hold, yeah. Monero just broke the 1 minute 200. Looks good on the daily time frame. 1,000, brother. Shout out to my man Vincenzo. Hey, Vincenzo. Hey, my man. I'm shorting alts. It's fast and not easy, but nice. Hey, be careful. Cherry City Bullies. Hey, man, whatever someone's risk, whatever your risk tolerance is, I don't have it. You probably have way more risk tolerance for me. I just don't have that, right? It's not something I like to do. It could double bottom. You never know. But to me, it's looking more bearish than bullish for BTC. Let's take a look at that total 3. The entire market cap of all those altcoins. It was holding some key support again, that 2-day 200 moving average. And I'll just redraw. We'll talk about what we're seeing here. But again, it's like, is this the final shakeout before the breakout? You see a lot of people saying it's going to be amazing. The pump's going to be unbelievable. I like where I'm positioned. You know, I still hold a good amount of alts. So if we get wrecked, I go down with the ship. It is what it is. But if somehow something miraculous happens and we do get any type of season, I won't ever be on the sideline saying I wish I would have, right? I'd rather get wrecked than say I wish I could have. Because, you know, I realized what type of, you know, the other night I sat with myself and I said, why do I feel a certain way about my trades? And I said, it's because of who I am. For instance, if we were on the other side and they said, who's taking the boat to the new land? I would say it's me. People are like, but what? You could get eaten by a whale. A tempest storm could take you down. Like, you're going to go out into the tempest. And I'd say, you know, I'd rather find out what's out there than sit here for the rest of my life. You know, that's just been the way I am my whole life. So instead of like sitting and waiting on shorting the demise of the market, which we could make money on using Bitcoin, which is fine, I'd rather take a shot on what could be. And if, you know, if it loses, we lose. At least I swam. Like, I'd rather swim out, watch the ship get wrecked and somehow make it back and say, at least we tried, you know, than sit there and never do it and watch other people go out onto the ocean, you know. So for me, it's about, I'm someone that just keeps pushing and opening doors. I know eventually a door will open for me. Something will open for me. Another opportunity will be created. And also for you. You know, it's not about me. I want you to understand that I show up every day and do this relentless consistency game here. Or not even a game, or, you know, real life. Because I want you to get the same vibe. I want you to say, well, how did he become where he's at? And you're like, well, he showed up every day. He did something he loved. He honed in on a craft. It took him 10 years, you know, or more. He didn't say it was going to happen overnight. He stayed true to himself. You know, when it wasn't easy, he kept pushing. When he hit many roadblocks, he never stopped. He's still going to hit roadblocks. It's still not easy just because it's set up right now, right? So like Total 3 is still holding this monster high or low on the altcoins, which to me is pretty great, and still holding the 2-day 200 moving average. You know, to me, this could just be a little bit of a bump in the road here. You never know. I've seen this happen before, but we only get to like 101. And this all disappears tomorrow. You never know. Right now, it looks like we're going down to 92.5. I'll be there every step of the way today, everyone. I'm in the Discord all day long. I'm going to be checking the charts constantly, without fail, like I do every single day. May God keep me healthy. I worked out today. I'm going to eat the right foods today. I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight. I'm going to do all the things I can do to keep my mind right so I can give you the best technical analysis every single day and help you understand the market as clear as humanly possible. All right, if you want to jump on into my Discord, we are running an amazing, amazing Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal that's coming up, and you can get into it a little early by clicking the link right there that I just showed you below my description. That'll take you to this cool little form. Fill out this form, it'll give you a 24-hour access to a preview and another discount on top of that Black Friday awesomeness. So check that out. Do that today. Get it done. You actually have a moment right now. I'll give you a moment. Just fill that out. I'll wait like 5 to 10 seconds. So you're not going to miss any part of the show. And there you go. That's definitely long enough for you to fill that out. You're good to go. You didn't miss any part of the show. You got to get it done. I talked about it and even gave you the time to get it done. Make sure you get that done. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Yeah, the bot's underwater fighting, man, and I might even cut it. You know, that looks like a head and shoulder pattern that may actually continue somewhere down into here. The bot does have more firepower to buy lower, right? The orders aren't huge. The bot's not in a giant trade right now. It didn't make any of it. It's like 80,000, 79. It has some. So if we go down here, the bot can buy, and then if we bounce back up, the bot can still, it'll bring down its average. So I have faith the bot will find its way out. All right. The wealthy want Bitcoin lower, so there's lots of manipulation. Jonathan was speaking on that. Yeah. Government opening vote. No, yeah. Tell me more about your I want to know how you love it and more things. We'll talk about that on the other channel, man. I don't want to like today. This channel is about trading, focused on helping others, focused on live ideas, playing out. Look, I'm almost the king of 3% here, right? So covering, risking less, gaining more, right? This channel is about the education. I have other places for other things. Coinbase, yeah. What's the usual levy on the bar? Does it have levy? Yeah, no, I think it's about 3x. Yeah. Someone says, WTF, thought we were recovering. That's why you can't think, man. You got to look at the charts. You know, we got a crazy pump above the 200 moving average. Looked pretty nice. Another false move. You passed the test. Love it, man. God bless you, man. Love you too. Yeah, I'm just not into it. I didn't buy it to do that. You know, I'm an old man who's just, you know, buying it's like an old man buying, it's whatever. You know what it is. Alchemist going up. Your thoughts on that coin? I love that coin. I still own it, actually. So we'll see what happens. It's stashed away on a hardware, on a wallet. It's got to be a calculated attack. Whales working together. I'm using bots from here on, Are you still in the short from the other day? No. Sammy, tell us more about your bot. I can find a price tag. If you want to hit a link to the bot, all right, it's right here. Okay. It's MINOTAUR Trading Systems. Hit the link. It did wonderful in the last massive dip. It was able to buy its way out and just really do things amazingly well, right? So unless Bitcoin's going to go straight down to 68,000, the bot will find its way in and out of the charts. You can schedule a call today at MINOTAUR Trading Systems. I do get a commission from that. Find out more. All right. Let's take a look at gold. Someone says gold is ripping. I expected gold to bounce off the bottom of this channel, though, and start. This is my, look, I have this. Look, I have this here. So, like, it's kind of that V. I expect gold to do this. This is exactly what I expect gold to do. It's supposed to bounce here and then consolidate. You see? What's cool is now we can get rid of the fib, and yeah, you can clearly see that was the fib. Yeah, but I see gold doing something just like this here, right? Consolidating more and then breaking out. I see gold hitting 52.85 by February of 27. February 27th of 2026. So yeah. It just says book a call, but how much is it? They'll tell you. Yeah. I'm happy to check out MINOTAUR bots are clutch. Yeah. Remember what happens to Sammy's trades when he travels. I know, right? I'm going to Singapore. I'm on my way to Portugal tomorrow. It's funny, every single time I've traveled, but let's not jinx myself. But we've made some massive gains every time I've traveled. We'll see what happens this time for BTC. Going into treasury for the weekend, but we'll see. The latest ones are the biggest green giga candles of all times. I know, they're really pretty nice, right? Yeah, look at that. Those last two. Like, that's some of the biggest, 1, 2, 1, 2. Those are some of the biggest candles gold's ever had. Right there was pretty big, though. It's happened right there. There's some big ones back in 23. But, yeah, no, for sure. You're spot on. Locally, yes, we haven't seen anything like this. Bitcoin showing signs of life, possibly getting a bounce here back to the upside. I don't like it. Doesn't seem to be doing what it's supposed to be doing over here. And it's been a lot of ups and downs today. It's kind of making my mind like want to take a break, reset, remap, and come back with a fresh mind here. It's kind of some, look how it's curving there, but curve it back down, baby. So you're going live tomorrow at 8 a.m. Yeah, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Let me say it again. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. All right? So big deal. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. All right? Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Let me say it one more time. Tomorrow morning. What time, everybody? Let me see how many people can write into the stream. What time is Sammy going live tomorrow? All right? Sam, what do you think about me going? Yeah, no, I've seen that happen before. It also could be the creation of that's when the actual real bear market starts too, though. Right? Someone says, I told you guys sub 100K won't ever happen again. That would be amazing. 8 a.m. Yep, you're right. 8 a.m. 8. Someone wrote 9 a.m. 8 a.m. 9 a.m. Central Time. Okay. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard time. No, tomorrow it's going to be 2 hours earlier. Yeah. Shorts playing out, folks. We're now up over 3%. Another $100 in the bag. Let's see. Let's see. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. And our show commences. Let me take a look at the Super Chats. Didn't get a chance to look at those. Wow, we did a lot today. New York session opened up. Never fails. Good chance to catch the bottom. Thank you so much. I longed ETH at the open dump, 33x. Amazing. I don't know how it's going right now. Smash that like button, but if you took the profit, smash the like button. Shout out to Guillermo Muck. Shout out to, Guillermo Muck both times. Thank you so much for the Super Chat, man. Shout out to Underground Crypto. Shout out to anyone that gave here on the channel. Wow, that's one of the small Super Chat days we've ever seen. Anyone have a question or anything, idea? We actually were just live trading the whole time. It was awesome. And we're in another live trade right now, so... Santa's coming to town, yeah. Remember, you don't have to risk tons. I always talk about it. Everyone thinks it has, it's little by little. Every success story is a success story of small gains that amounted to big ones over time. And consistency, right? Eating one, I like going it both ways. Eating one donut will not make you fat. Eating donuts every day for maybe a few hundred days, that's gonna add up. If you consistently ate a donut every single day for a few hundred days straight, it'll probably start to do something to your health. Right? So what you do once or twice doesn't matter. Right? You're not going to change your life just doing it once, making a couple trades once, or deciding you're going to learn how to trade for one day. But if you commit, you join a trading group, you really learn how to trade, it'll change your life. And so I urge you one more time, if you haven't today, to sign up to the most premium and affordable information online when it comes to trading, in my humble opinion, with the Black Friday early bird sale, which gives you access to my Discord and what we're doing next year, which is going to be amazing. Hit that link. It brings you to this beautiful form. Fill it out. I can't wait to see you there. That gives you a 24-hour discount prior to the previous sale. All right, so check it out. Everyone, I love you. Again, will your arms get big if you just lift a little bit of weights? If you go to the gym one time and lift weights, will you get huge arms? Unlikely, right? But if you go to the gym for a couple years, time and time again, what happens now? Like, you will look big when you walk around, right? So everyone wants to be the big guy, but no one wants to have the long pain in the gym. It's all there waiting for you. Everyone wants to be the great trader, but they don't want to spend the years it takes to put in the work and the discipline. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to take time if you want to achieve anything in life, folks. And if you want to hit the fast forward button, it's just not going to happen. Krispy Kreme, I'm gone later. It's just so funny. He's like, oh, I just seen a Krispy Kreme truck. Yo, I'm out. I love the humor of the lifers. You guys have a great sense of humor. And girls, all the people here, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Without you, I'd have no channel, no life. No one would listen to me. I wouldn't be the lifer. I wouldn't fly around the world. Each and every one of you has provided such a beautiful existence for me. I could be a trader. I could have the money. I could have a lifestyle. And I could make the money. But, man, to do it publicly, to teach people, to have fun, and to be a known personality in the crypto space, that's a blessing that I will always cherish and be thankful for the rest of my life. So everyone, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. I will see you all tomorrow for another beautiful, amazing live stream. Today is a day to rejoice and be grateful, for today is the day the Lord has made, man. I love you all. Thank you so much. Remember, I study the billionaires, the multimillionaires, even people that didn't just make money, people that changed the world, people that I believe were successful. And you know what? They all had this same secret that they told, that they stuck to. You know what the secret to success is? There's a secret to success. Can you believe it? I know what it is. Can I tell you what the secret to success is? It's wearing pants. You know what I mean? Matching pants today. No. The secret to success is getting started.